Hello, Coach.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Asked a couple of the guys, but you obviously have been here long enough now through spring and the summer and fall camp and such. Have you learned everything you need to know about A, this defense, B, the players in it to feel ready to hit the ground running on Saturday?
I think so. I think we know the personality of our team. I think we know the character of these guys out there. We know what makes them tick. So as any coach, you're anxious to see them go out there with live bullets and everything counts and see how to respond, how they react to adversity. I'm interested to see how they do that. But from a standpoint of who they are, how hard they can play, the things they can do, I think we have a pretty good gauge. But you want to know as a coach, when it doesn't go to script and when things happen, how will they respond? I think we know, but I'm anxious to see it happen on Saturday.
Yes, to kind of keep going on that, what's impressed you about the way the defensive front has evolved in particular? Have you seen that group get better in time? I guess what do you like about what you're getting both out on the edge and in the interior there?
I think they've taken personal accountability to win their box. I think they've done a much better job. I think Coach Peoples has done a tremendous job of getting those guys to come off the ball and strike, work their technique and fundamentals, and the mindset, especially going in this game, that you're gonna have to play some big boy ball. They do a great job of getting into 12 and 22 and 21 personnel, and really trying to break your will. And so I think our guys understand the challenge on Saturday of having to come out and strike. And I think they've done a great job off camp of buying into that all the way through.
Just, a little bit more about Iowa. What kind of challenges do you have to prioritize?
I think they do a tremendous job. I give their coaching staff credit. They make you defend all personnel groups. It's nothing on the third play of the game to jump into 22 personnel and see if you can defend it. Jump right back into 21 personnel with a really good fullback and do things off that. Base out of 12 personnel and make you defend the whole field with between the boot, the play action pass, the tight end screens. They do a great job, and then they get in their 11, and you have to defend those wide outs in the backs. They have a bunch of two-back sets. They have two really good backs they like. And then a quarterback who a second year in the system is going to be a better passer, a better game manager, and understand the system. So I give them credit. They make you defend all personnel groups at any time in the football game. So you got to be prepared for 22, 12, 11, empty, wildcat. People think Iowa, hey, they simple, they do what they do. No, they're very intricate as you break them down, the things they do. The formations they give you, the FSL. They just do a lot of different things defensively to keep you on your toes, and they do it with a physical brand of football. So it'll be a great challenge for us on Saturday.
Yeah, Coach, a guy like Linderbaum, just how does he impact the game at center for them, and how important is it going to be for some of your interior guys to win some of those battles?
Who'd you ask about?
Linderbaum, the center at Iowa. Just how does he impact the game from the center spot, and how important is it going to be for your defensive tackles to, try to win maybe some of those battles up front with them?
Yeah, I think he's a tremendous football player, tons of experience. He's a guy that will move on to the next round professionally, and I think he has played so many snaps. He's the anchor of that offensive line. I think there's a tremendous amount of confidence that group has with him. I know as a second-year quarterback, it's great to have a guy like that that's snapping you the ball, that can make protection checks, that can mic the defense. So I think he's one of their great players that we're going to have to contend with, find ways to make plays for ourselves, knowing who he is. But I think whenever you have a guy that's that experienced, played that many games, and that's talented, that's something you just got to will yourself to on defense to overcome.
I know they're not necessarily new for you because it's your first year as well, but Jaron Handy, Ryder Anderson, from a tangible perspective and even an intangible perspective, what have those guys brought, maybe especially as they've settled into that defense, not just thinking about kind of the last 9 months, but certainly through the summer and here in the fall camp?
I think they've just given us tremendous competitive nature. I think both those guys walked on the campus ready to buy into the culture here, ready to be coached hard, ready to contribute in any way they see fit. They never walked in there expecting anything but a chance. And I think they performed well. I think they've worked out the transition. They've learned the scheme, which was new to them. It wasn't new to everybody else, but it was new to them. And really, they've competed. And really, when you break it down on defense, you want 11 guys, 14 guys, 18 guys that will compete, and both those guys have come in here and competed well.
Coach, why do you think this team was so successful last year in terms of takeaways, particularly in the secondary? And how do you improve on that or at least maintain that?
I couldn't understand the first part of that question.
I'm sorry. Why do you think this team last year was so good in the takeaway department, particularly the secondary?
Really here, our DNA, it starts with takeaways. Coach Allen has preached that since he was a coordinator here, and that's something we focus on every single day in practice. Whether it be circuit work, whether it be individual periods, takeaways is part of our DNA defensively. So that will always be an emphasis and a premium put on that. And I think you're good at what you emphasize, and we emphasize that with our players. So I think that's where you see the mindset come from. And I think and also capitalize on opportunities. When the ball's thrown your way, we have guys that can catch it. When an opportunity, a running back's holding the ball a certain way, we have guys that has subconsciously go out there and punch that ball out. So I really think from our standpoint, because it is such a huge point of emphasis, you see it matriculate into games. And really to improve on it, which we have to do game in and game out to win football games, is still the mindset of the ball's got to be taken away from that team. They're not going to give it away to us. And so whether it's practice reps, individual reps, that's something that our guys have to buy into, and they have. And Coach Allen's done a great job of instilling that culture here from when he was the coordinator.
Coach, so much was made last year about offensive linemen maybe not being quite ready physically for coming out of the pandemic training and everything like that. Do you feel like you have to approach defense differently knowing that those guys are going to be fully ready this year versus last year?
Oh, no. Every game we played, they're ready. Whoever's in there, they're ready because their coaches wouldn't play them with that team if they couldn't count them. So to me, you go into every game knowing that they're fully loaded, they're fully prepared, and our execution, our level of how much we prepare, and our effort and energy we play with is going to be the difference in the game. We never count on a team either not being ready or not having the right guys out there. They're going to be ready come Saturday. They're going to be welcoming us with great energy. Their fans are going to be welcoming us with great energy. So our guys have they'll be ready to play.
You obviously mentioned their running game, Iowa's running game in general. Just what impresses you in particular about Goodson, the running back?
Say it again.
Their running back, what impresses you about him?
Oh, I mean, they got a couple of them. I tell you what, they have great vision, great body control. Look how many times you see those guys spin off a tackle, cut back, and burst to the ball. Tremendous feet. They both can catch the ball out the backfield, so they're really good as a wide receiver. They can use them as a weapon on third down and early downs. Their screen game with their backs is really impressive. They can move them out to empty. I think they're every down backs that can catch the football, and they're really good in protection. So we plan to see both those guys in the game at the same time and find different ways they can get matchups with those backs on our players. So I think they have two tremendous weapons back there in the backfield.